वो सब तो ठीक है, but what's a Linux distro? So unlike Windows, where you only have Microsoft releasing Windows versions, and once Windows actually is released, a particular version is released, you're pretty much stuck with that, because if you, let's say you invest in Windows 11, in that case, unless Microsoft decides to come out with a new version, you're practically you're stuck with that. There's no other company which can help you in terms of changing feature sets of Windows. Of course, there are programs you can install. Now, unlike that, Linux is actually it's based on the Linux kernel. So essentially, what is Linux? Linux is essentially the kernel, and different companies have come together to essentially build their own version of Linux, and you can kind of use any one of them. So examples are, you can go in for a Debian distribution, for example, something like Ubuntu or something like just Debian itself, or you can go in for a Fedora distribution or Red Hat or something of that sort. So the way that this works is, each company, what they do is that they get the kernel from kernel.org, for example, and they customize the kernel, right, based upon what they want to do with Linux, or what are the feature sets they want to enable for their operating system. And what they do is that they create this package around the kernel. So essentially, they might actually go in for GNU utilities, or open source GNU utilities, or they might actually package in tools like top, for example, or htop, or for example SAR or iotop or something, which are open source tools, right? You might also get a word processor, you might also get a browser. For example, most distros ship with Firefox. Of course, there are some which ship with Chrome as well by default, but then those are options available to you. So in short, what exactly is a distro? A distro, or a Linux distro, is just a kernel which a company actually packages, and they actually give you packages along with it, which are sitting in on alongside the kernel, right? So that's what the distribution is. So some of the common distros you can go in with are Red Hat, for example, or you can go in with SUSE Linux, or you can actually go in with Fedora. You can go in for Ubuntu, you can go in for Debian, right? So those are some of the common Linux distributions that you have.